So now it's time to create our artist copy. Okay, so we've all got an image and a piece of paper. We're going to go back to those basic drawing techniques that you learned at the start of Year 7, which was using basic shapes. So if we look at this body here, we're going to first of all just start with just a nice light, and when we're sketching, we're always pressing lightly, line of symmetry down the middle of the page. If we look at the size of the body, it is much, much bigger than the size of the head. It's probably double. So let's just mark out the top and the bottom of the body, the main body part. And it's a bit of an oval shape, so what we're going to do, we're going to try to create that oval shape by sketching. So you're sketching very lightly. So once you've sketched that shape, you are then going to take the line of best fit, the line that you like the most, that follows that oval shape the most, and then you're just going to sketch it in a little bit darker. Okay. At the bottom of that image, we can see that the beetle's back just opens up slightly. So I'm just going to put a dot just less than halfway of where that back starts to open up. And then I'm just going to draw those lines in. Now I can take my rubber and rub away any lines that I don't need. If any of your lines are really dark, you could rub those back as well. So I want to keep it nice and light so that when I do paint, I'm not going to see those dark, heavy pencil lines. So just double checking that you're happy with the shape before we move on. I'm just going to tweak this part, make it a bit rounder, like that. Okay, the next part then, we can see at the top of the body, if we put another dot here, we're going to start to see the top part of the back opens up a little bit. So I'm just going to sketch that in, just quite similar to the bottom, a little bit thinner, and then I can rub away that line. I can also, while I'm at it, just from that same dot, start to add that little wave in the pattern. And it arches up and it comes back down. Arches up, comes back down. Okay. Right, now we're going to get the head part of the body in. So thinking about proportion. It's probably about half the size of the body or less, and it's a bit squarish in shape. We've got curved corners at the top, it dips down in the middle, so something a little bit like that, and we can keep tweaking as we're sketching. Okay, so then the next part, we are looking at the very top of the head, and this part is the thinnest part, and it almost mirrors just below it, a little bit different. There we go. So now we're just going to start to draw in some of the pattern just before we attempt the legs. So beetles are roughly symmetrical. So whatever we're drawing on one side of the body, we are mirroring that on the opposite side of the body. as best as we can. So once we've done that part, we can start to work our way down. So you're always looking at the picture when you are drawing, always looking at the picture. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the legs. And again, we're going to start off with just basic lines and shapes. So first of all, so just above that second pattern line, we've got our first leg start to come in. So I'm just going to put two little markers just to show myself that's where the legs come in, just above that second pattern line. It's a bit of a triangular shape at the top. I'm just checking the angle which comes down here. The leg comes to the bottom of the body and then changes direction slightly. So down to the bottom of the body and changes direction slightly. Just like that. And then what you're going to do, once you've drawn in the basic line, you are then going to tweak your drawing and you're going to add some nice detailed shapes around the lines that you've just put in position. So look very carefully at the shapes of the leg. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sections. Triangular, this one's a very, very long triangle, and these are short triangles. Make sure that you've got those shapes nice and accurate and that your beetle's legs are quite prickly, spiky. So once you've got those two legs in place, we are going to move up to the top part of the main body. Again, that triangular shape. And then we're going to just use a line just to show the direction of the leg, the angle that the leg is on. And then we're going to start to add those shapes. And don't forget, any lines that you don't need, you can just rub away. And then we're onto the top two legs, which come from the bottom of the head area. We've got more of like a square shape here than a triangle, or a small rectangle now. And then the last part is just the antenna, which come from the very top part of the head, where the two parts join, and they reach out towards the legs. Okay, and they're made up of lots of tiny little shapes, lots of tiny triangular shapes. Seven, 8, and there we go. So once you've double checked that your drawing is accurate, you are going to rub away any lines that you don't need. You're also going to rub away any lines that are really dark, and that is because when we come to paint our insect, our beetle, what we don't want is some really dark pencil lines. So anything that's too dark, let's just rub away and make lighter.